Well, good morning. Hey, I'm back. Rick. Dude. No. No, just not right now. Go lay down. Go lay down. Thank you. That's Rick. He's our dog. He's a good dog. He's just kind of needy. Yeah, kind of needy. Alright. Anyway, so I'm back today. I wanted to talk a little bit about a tweet that I saw from Nita. I just thought it was really interesting. So they were, I don't know, I've read a bunch of tweets recently from Nita, and the one I'm thinking of, they were trying to, I think it was a link to an article that was, giving people advice on how to do this kind of thing, on how to, potentially take part in, kind of advocacy for mental health or eating disorders, that kind of stuff. So, I read through that, and one of the things that they explicitly really argued against doing, right, they were like, never do this, was to say that eating disorders, particularly restrictive eating disorders, have something to do, with willpower. And I just thought that was a really interesting, topic to broach, I guess. Not because I feel like my eating disorder is a matter of willpower, but because I feel like it's the opposite of willpower. I guess when I think of willpower, I think of, kind of like, oh, there's a slice of your favorite cake or pie or a scoop of your favorite ice cream, something that you really like to eat, whatever that is, right? And it's sitting right there, and you're sitting right there, and you just have to, not eat it. I guess I think that because that's kind of the classical test, right, of, psychologists call it, what do they call it? Psychologists call it, putting off pleasure. That's not the technical term. I'll try to put the technical term up here or something. But having the ability to put off pleasure, and wait for later, is an important skill. It's an important life skill, and psychologists have found that the ability to do that while you're young, right, the better you were at that, the more likely you were to succeed later in life. And so I guess I kind of think of it in that way. That's kind of, to me, that's willpower, right, is being able to put off doing something you enjoy or eating something you enjoy, whatever that might be. And that just doesn't fit with my eating disorder, because my eating disorder, I get the strongest urge to do those things, like when I'm stressed out, or like when I have really strong emotions, and I don't even know how to deal with those emotions. I don't even know that I have those emotions, until until I start feeling the need to do some of these eating disorder things. And then it's like, oh, what's going on here? I don't really understand, why I'm having this urge to whatever eating disorder thing it is. And then I have to kind of sit down and I have to try to sort out where that feeling is coming from. So it has nothing to do with willpower for me, right? It has everything to do with, what's a coping mechanism, and so when I don't feel good about myself, or when I'm stressed, or when, I'm worried, or, I've got a big trip coming up, or, had a fight with my wife, anything like that, that is when my eating disorder behaviors become things that I want to do. And so it has nothing to do with willpower at all. If I exercise my choice, I guess, when I'm having trouble with my eating disorder stuff, then I can choose to keep doing that stuff, right? Or I can choose not to do that stuff. And so for me, sometimes, the urge is so strong that I'll literally stand in my kitchen looking at a loaf of bread, right? And I'm just like, it's breakfast time, I should eat this loaf of bread. And I can't sometimes. I don't know how else to describe that, right? I'm looking at the bread it's breakfast time, I should make some toast, but I just can't that day. And sometimes, for reasons I really don't understand yet, or maybe I will someday, I don't know, but I just can't do it that day. But maybe later that day, maybe like at lunchtime, maybe my mood has improved or whatever, something has changed, and so I can choose at that point to either go and eat lunch, or I can choose not to. There's a kind of a choice at that point. And so to me, at that point, there's some, there's an option, right? I have the choice to make at that point. I can choose to do the thing that will make my eating disorder worse, or I can choose to do the thing that will help me on the path of getting better. But that's still, that's not willpower either, right? That's just sometimes I can't make the choice to take care of myself like I should, and I do these restrictive things that I shouldn't do, but I don't feel like I can help it. But then other times, when I do have that choice, like I need to try to make the best choice, like for my health and my mental and in physical well-being. And I guess maybe at that point willpower, you could argue, comes into it. But the choice you make doesn't really reflect on your willpower. I mean, it reflects on, like your goals, right? Like, what do you want to do with life? What do you want to accomplish, to be, to become? And sometimes the answer for people is, like, I want to be worse in my eating disorder. And, that's their choice to make. Sometimes I make that choice. I wish that I wouldn't, and I would encourage others not to make that choice. But I guess they say that that recovery from anorexia or a restrictive type eating disorder is thought to take like 7 years from when you start trying to recover. And so I guess just these ups and downs are expected. That's just part of it. So just got to take the hard times with the good times and know that you're getting there. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say right now. So I definitely want to leave you with the idea that a restrictive type eating disorder is not about willpower, right? It's not about like I'm somehow like really strong because I can not eat. It's quite the opposite, right? When I can't eat, like I literally can't make myself do it. And like I don't even know how to describe that. Like I just can't, right? And that's not willpower at all. That's something else. That's like an addiction or compulsion or something, right? That on those mornings when I can't make toast, it's not something where I'm strong and I'm forcing my will. It's like I'm tapped out and I can't make myself do this basic thing, and I feel really bad about it because I feel like every adult, right, is like out there and they have their breakfast or their breakfast thing, whatever they do, their shake or their coffee, and when I just can't make myself do that, like I feel really like vulnerable and weak. But I can't. Sometimes I just can't do it. I don't know. I really don't know why that is. It's on my list of things to figure out. So I'll let you know as soon as I figure out what is going on there. But so yeah, be well. Hope everyone's doing okay. If you've got any comments, please feel free to leave them. If you've got questions, I'd be happy to answer. And see you next time.